My baby beside me at the wheel. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile. My curiosity running wild. Cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go.
And now, live from the studios of WTAN, the Fuel Savers with host Barry Hart. Listen and learn about the latest in fuel-saving technologies, regulations, and trends in the automotive and fuel industry. And now, the man who knows the best how to save you money at the fuel pump, a pioneer in hydrogen-aided combustion systems, Barry Hart.
Welcome once again, folks. Welcome to the Fuel Savers right here on WTAN 1340 on the AM dial, 10 Talk Radio. I'm your host, Barry Hart, and I promise to bring you the latest in fuel-saving technology, fuel-saving tips, things you do not save, things you do not do to save fuel, and insights into your government regulations in the energy industry. It's happening. It's happening. Gas prices are going up. Today I see the price of oil at $104.06. Wow, went up $3 this past week. Well, those of you who have been with us for a while, you remember last year when I was warning one and all about the rising fuel prices. Everyone said, no, they're not going to rise. Maybe a couple of cents here and there, but we're safe. Our president's going to keep us safe from fuel prices rising up so high. Well, guess what, folks? They're up. They're up there. 90 days after I said the prices were going to go up, the prices are up. I know, a little bit late, but hey, I saw it coming. I'm looking and seeing what's going on out there so I can bring it to you and inform you what's going on so that you can prepare for the future. Well, the prices are already up here in the Tampa Bay area to pre-Halloween 2001 prices already, and this is just February. Which brings me to a new part of the show, a segment I call My Word. Buckle up, folks. 2012 is going to be a bumpy ride. Prices may top $5 a gallon, like they say, and by the end of the summer, I'm betting that is going to actually happen. I'm also betting that by September, fuel prices will fall, as we are all told that the changes made in our government are beginning to move the economy forward, and the lower price of gas will be used to validate that statement. The mainstream press and media will swoon with the great news, and when 2013 rolls around with the same government at the helm, gas and diesel will once again rise, this time to unprecedented levels in this country. How high could the prices go? Psst, here's a hint. Think England. Think England. And that's my word. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. Things may be great around here for right now because the prices are all under $4 a gallon. But, friends, they are going to go up, and time to prepare is now. You're listening to the Fuel Savers on WTAN 10 Talk Radio 1340 on the AM dial, serving Tampa Bay and Dade City areas. We're here in sunny Florida. So if you have any questions, you want to be part of the show, the numbers to call are 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000 if you're calling here in Pinellas County, 1-866-826-1340 if you're calling from outside the broadcast area. That's 866-826-1340 if you're calling from outside the broadcast area. We're also streaming live right now over the internet, and if you want to watch the show live, go to www.fuelgeniesystems.com. Click on the Fuel Savers radio icon and join us right here in the studio, right where in front of your eyes you can see the grandeur of and elegance of everything we do around here. You can also listen to podcasts on the WTAN website, and YouTube postings of past shows will be right there on the Fuel Genie Systems website. All you have to do is just click it on where it says past shows. Okay, so we're moving right along now. This past week on Fox Business News, Commissioner Bart Schulten from the Commodities Future Trading Commission said gasoline and other refined products are now international commodities. When demand is low here in the U.S., the refineries ship refined oil products to other countries like South America. That's what's happening now. Well, since they said that, what that really means is, and how I can translate that into English for all of you, is that since the prices of gasoline were about $3.17 here in America, remember, demand is low, so demand is low, the prices are going to go down. But in Brazil, in England, in Europe, in China, in India, demand is up. So up until recently, the past year or so, shipping refined gasoline, risky to say the least, but shipping refined gasoline or refined oil products to other countries, not very much done. So not done very much in the international market. But now, with the ability to ship refined oil products at a safer clip with not so much money tacked onto it, allows people with refineries in a country to ship that refined fuel, that refined diesel, refined gasoline to other countries around the world where the prices are much higher. How much higher, do you ask? Well, right now, today in Brazil, it's about $5.18 for a gallon of gas. Now, they tax some taxes on top of that stuff there, so it's probably maybe about $4.80 or $4.90, but still, it's way up there. It's over $5. Now, how about England? Well, if you use today's prices, calculate for the liters and being gallons over here versus liters over there, you're looking at almost $8 a gallon for just 1 gallon of gasoline over there. And that's regular. We're not talking about high test. High test is about $1 more, $9 a gallon. You've got a Beamer or a Mercedes over there in England, and you go from, say, Edinburgh down to London, it's going to cost you about $120 in gasoline. I don't know. I don't have that kind of money. I don't think you have that kind of money out here either. But anyway, what I wanted to get across to you is that in my research out here, remember I promised you I would try and get to the bottom of why the oil prices are going sky high like they are. Because it doesn't seem to have any correlation to the price of a barrel of oil. So, oil was going down for the first 60 days of this year, first 40 days of this year. The price of oil was actually going down while the price of gasoline was climbing. I couldn't understand it. I talked with industry officials. I talked with local people around here, local suppliers of gasoline and diesel fuel to gas stations and stuff. Nobody could give me an answer whatsoever. So I wrote into the news stations and I gave them a list of questions they should be asking these oil executives out here. And lo and behold, Stuart Varney of Fox Business News, he was the first guy to really start to bring out some of the facts, the hidden facts from us on why fuel is indeed increasing. So it works like this. If they're selling for $5 a gallon in Brazil, and at $3.17 here, and it costs them maybe 8 or 9 cents a gallon to ship it to Brazil, they're going to do that. That money, they're going to get Brazilian money. They don't really care. I wonder how that figures into us giving Brazil money, lending them money to drill off their coast over there. I wonder if that has anything that tied in anyway. That's another show. Anyway, I'll work on that for you. But you can see where this is going as we move along here, and as moving refined oil products across the seas becomes more and more commonplace, the price of a gallon of gasoline or diesel fuel is not going to reflect anymore what country you're in and how rich you are and how fluent you can make things be for yourselves. It's going to depend upon what the price is on the international market. We could save fuel here. We could drive less. We can do everything we want to. But as people in other countries out there are driving more and demanding more and more and more and more fuel, our prices are going to go up no matter what we do. So what are we supposed to do about all of this? How can we possibly save ourselves from this insane rise in fuel prices? Because it's not going to stop. You see, they're not going to be really happy until they have made oil, gasoline and diesel fuel, a global commodity. That is something, they already trade oil all over the world as a global commodity, but the refined products are not yet classified as a global commodity. So what's happening right now is we enjoy a lower fuel cost here in America, and they, with higher demands in South America, pay higher fuel costs. And in Europe, they pay even higher fuel costs, but that's because of the socialist structure over there, and they're actually paying at 5 and 6 times more taxes on the fuel that they get over there than what we are paying here. sometimes our government does have mercy on us. Well, anyway, be that as it may, watch out, because refined oil products are going to be more and more globalized as time goes on. We are going to have less and less and less control over the price of oil and price of gasoline and diesel that we pay at the pump here in America. I know it's part of feeling totally helpless, but it's all part of this new world order, one world where there's one price of gasoline for the whole world, one price of diesel fuel for the whole world. I don't know how exactly that's all going to work out in the end, because I'm sure there's some African countries over there where $8 gets you through an entire month. Now, how could they possibly charge $8 for a gallon of gas or a gallon of diesel when that's what people earn an entire month? Some places over Pakistan and India, $45, $50 a month for police salaries. That is the going rate over there. And if you don't know, you don't know this. If you don't travel around, if you don't ask, you don't see things. But that's going on over there. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to globalize the entire cost of gasoline or entire prices of gasoline and diesel fuel, but they're working on it. Each month they get a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer. So now, instead of the prices of oil, the increase in the price of oil being the culprit for raising the fuel prices, now we can blame Brazil. We can blame Europe. We can blame India. We can blame China for the rising fuel prices here. At least that's what the government can tell us. Don't blame us. We're not to blame for this. Blame Brazil. Blame China. Hey, Russia's probably in there on that too. If we don't have the information and the facts to tell us differently, we believe it. And so we go on plodding through life, paying these very high oil prices on everything that's out here. And before you know it, we're paying $8, $9 a gallon for gasoline, just like those guys over there in Russia are. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a little insight here, because I do keep tabs on all of this out here for you. And as soon as I find out something that will affect the increase in the price of oil, I let you know about it, because as soon as you know about it, now you're prepared. Now you can start to think a little bit in the future. And when the higher prices do start to overwhelm us out here, you're prepared. At least you're ready for it. You may even have done a lot more than your neighbor out here. So that's why we're here. We want to prepare you for the future. Higher oil prices are coming, higher gas prices, higher diesel fuel prices are coming. No doubt about it. So the time to prepare is now. So I'm here with Fuel Genie Systems. I'm the CEO of the company. I founded it about 4 years ago, and everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people ask me, and I get emails from a lot of people out here saying, how did you actually get into this industry? Well, I'll give you a little history. Now you can go along with me and follow along with me for a couple of minutes here. Beg your time, but it's me. You got to listen to me. So anyway, back in February of 2008, this is before the Olympics over in China, a good friend of mine came to me and said, hey, Barry, look at this piece of paper. I looked at the piece of paper that he had gotten from a flea market right around the corner from where he lives, actually. And on it, it said a lot of things, and it says, turn your water into gas. Save money on fuel. And it gave a website. So I went ahead, went to the website, looked at it, and a good solid chemical background, from schooling. I said, this is absolutely possible. I knew that hydrogen actually burns, was a flammable gas. I knew that oxygen's flammable too. At least oxygen helps flammable things burn. So I looked into it, logged onto the website, actually downloaded a book, and built my own cell, a little cell that in a mason jar with some wires on the inside that actually separated water into hydrogen and oxygen. So I knew that this hydrogen and the oxygen, if I injected it into the engine of my car, which is a 2004 Suzuki Rodeo out here, way back then, I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to inject it inside here, and we're going to see what happens. Now, that's a company car, and we've been using it. We know how many miles it gets in town. We know how many miles it gets on the road with air conditioning, without air conditioning. We know everything about it. So it was pretty easy to put this on and begin measuring the increases in miles per gallon. So built the thing. First time I put it on, I stood back because I was afraid it was going to blow up. Seriously. It didn't blow up. And just like they said, as soon as the engine started, it was loud. And then after about 30 or 40 seconds, when the hydrogen started having an effect on the engine quieted down, was really, really smooth running. And I didn't smell any more fumes coming out of the exhaust. In fact, I saw the exhaust actually with a drip, drip, drip of water coming out of it. So I said to my friend who was there, hey, come on, let's go for a drive. Well, it had just rained. So backed out of the driveway, put the car in drive, and stepped on the accelerator like I normally do, and the rear wheels broke loose. Well, I turned to my friend and I said, wow, that's pretty powerful. I wasn't even prepared for that, but let's go. So we took off and we drove 100 miles. Now, typically in that vehicle, when the tank is full, actually we tanked up before we went the 100 miles, tanked up at full. Typically at about 17 miles, the needle edges off of its totally right-hand side position there and drifts over to where it covers the F on the fuel gauge for full, okay? Right about 17 miles. So I was very surprised going down the road, seeing 17 miles. Needle hadn't budged from that locked-in position on the right-hand side of the gauge there. At 40 miles, it finally started to move, and at 43 miles down the road, the needle was floating over the F symbol on the gas gauge there, the fuel symbol, full symbol. And I looked over at my buddy Tom, and I said, "Jeez, look at this. We have 43 miles where normally I would be 17 miles." Well, we're only going to drive about 100 miles, so we went another 10 miles. We came back, we filled the car back up, and wow! Surprised. Typically on that kind of a day, it was dry then, there was no more rain. We had the air conditioning on inside the car. Car was getting about 13.5 miles per gallon on the road with the air conditioning on. We got 21 miles per gallon on that 100-mile trip with the hydrogen device. I was shocked. I was surprised. I jumped up and down saying, this has got to come to the market. Began doing a lot more research on the internet, trying to find ways, talk to people, find people who had done this themselves. Couldn't find a lot of people out there at the time. Every once in a while, I'd talk to somebody, oh yeah, I've got a hydrogen device on my car. I'm not too thrilled with it. Well, in the interim there, with the device on my car, I noticed that after a couple of days, I wasn't getting the same mileage that I used to. So, not knowing anything about it or the chemistry or anything, it's all brand new. I just built the unit, didn't get into the science or any of the chemistry involved in it. So, mileage started going down. In fact, the mileage started going down pretty drastically. It was down to 15 miles per gallon, and 12, 14 miles per gallon, and 13 miles per gallon. So I started putting more electrolyte inside the system, thinking, well, maybe it's just, got tired or something and needs a boost. Seems like the more electrolyte I put into the system, the worse the mileage got. Not only that, but all the wires inside there began to eat away and corrode. And inside of about another 2 days, the whole system, the wires had broken and everything was just going crazy inside there. So I built another one. Took a little bit less time this time, but you use some stainless steel wires and you get your little jigs and stuff put together. It gets to be a little easier the second time. So it only took about 3 hours this time to make the next one. Put that back in the car, did exactly the same things I did with the first one. Went out to drive it. I was getting almost right at 13 miles per gallon. That's it. Had no idea in the world what was going on, why it wasn't working. I did everything they told me to do, just wasn't there. So I knew I had experienced the fact that I was getting almost a 40% increase in miles per gallon in the vehicle, and then all of a sudden, it just stopped. Knowing a little bit about cars and cars computers and having a lot of friends who are mechanics, I started talking with people. I found out that it was the computer in the car that was making the problems. It seems that the computers in your car, and each one is different from manufacturer to manufacturer here. Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, they're all different. But most computers, after about 30 miles, they will take a picture of all the systems, the settings, everything inside the systems, the voltage from your O2 sensors and from the mass airflow sensor, your engine control sensor, engine coolant temperature sensor, throttle position sensor, all of those things. It takes a picture, and then 30 miles later, it takes another snapshot. And if it sees something is amiss, some of the settings are just not exactly right for somehow, some way, then what it does is it goes in and searches and finds out where the problem was. And once it finds the sensor that gets affected, it puts on a check engine light. Well, I didn't have a check engine light on. However, when I hooked up the little diagnostic computer to my car, I found that there was a pending code on the O2 sensors. And what that means is that there's a code, the sensors are sensing something's wrong, but it's not quite bad enough for them to tell the computer to take it to the shop to have it all done. So I have it fixed or have it looked at. So anyway, I found out after talking more and more to people that unless you deal with the computer, you're not going to get any increase in miles per gallon. You will in the very beginning, but once it sees how you fooled it, it goes right back and makes adjustments. In fact, when the O2 sensors sense more oxygen, hydrogen inside the system, what it does is it lowers the voltage to the computer and says, hey, we're lean down here in the exhaust. You need to richen the mixture up. So the computer, not knowing why it's lean down there, it just goes ahead and richens the mixture up. And that is counterproductive to having a fuel-saving device inside the car, because the hydrogen injected into the engine, hydrogen and oxygen, this HHO gas, hydrogen gas, introduced into the engine, turns into superheated steam, which is then pushed out into the exhaust, and the O2 sensors sense that as a rise in oxygen. So if nothing's done to thwart that, the message will be sent to the computer will richen the mixture back out, and your mileage will go back down. If you add more electrolyte, like I did in the beginning, if you add more electrolyte to your system, you're going to add basically more oxygen to the system. You're going to exacerbate that sensing of the computer that the mixture is too lean. So it took about another 3 or 4 months. We finally found some people out here that actually produced something called electronic fuel injection enhancement devices, or EFIEs. Now, we sent out for those, and it was a pretty arduous task putting those things on the O2 sensors. You have to wire them all up. You have to get the car up on a lift, and you have to wire them into the O2 sensors, and you have to wire them into power. And then you have to go and adjust this EFI device, electronic fuel injection enhancement device. Yeah, you have to adjust that so that when the O2 sensor senses oxygen, too much oxygen, and lowers the voltage going to the computer with this EFIE device, or EFI device, whatever you want to call it, you would adjust the voltage on that and send or add another 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 volts to the computer, and now the computer would think, everything's okay. I don't have to lean out the mixture anymore. The mixture's still lean, but adding just 0.2, 1/10, 0.3 of a volt to that signal going to the control circuit of the computer told the computer everything is fine. Don't have to worry about richening the mixture out. And after that, things started working better for us. Well, now came the problem that this little glass jar and everything associated with it was not user-friendly. I mean, not user-friendly at all. Every day I had to go out, and there was a sludge in the bottom of it all. We had to take the top off, take the whole wire system out of it, and then go over, empty it out, swish it around in water, clean it all out, come back, put in the distilled water, add in a couple of teaspoons of baking soda, which we no longer use. No more baking soda. The days of baking soda are gone. Sorry about that, Betty Crocker. Anyway, we worked on that. I said, if this is going to go to the public, this has to be user-friendly. Something's got to happen about this. So over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 months, my partner and I, John, we worked diligently at this. We changed the shape. We changed the size. We changed all of the components on the inside until we had a working model that was fairly user-friendly. You would have to go out and fill it up once every 3 days, but it didn't leak, it didn't break. The little adjustment settings on it were not so fragile anymore that they would break if you turned them the wrong way or turned them hard. It just became a lot easier for everybody. So that's what we started off with, our initial Fuel Genie system. As time goes on, we learned about other systems that are out there. We came to be affiliated with a guy named Ed Grimm, who an ex-NASA shuttle technician. Those of you who keep up with the show know Ed comes on from time to time when he has good information to bring us, and we always welcome Ed on the show. But anyway, Ed designed a hydrolyzer. That's the little component of the system that separates water into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay? So we started using Ed's devices, and over time we worked with Ed, and the designs changed, and we were able to get a unit that is now durable. It's reliable. It requires no cleaning whatsoever. If you have a Fuel Genie system on your car today, the only thing you have to do is about once every 1,800 miles, or in some cases it's about once every 800 miles. Depends how big your reservoir is inside there, your water reservoir. But for about every 1,800 miles, you go out and you fill up a reservoir with about 2 liters of water. If you're a diesel truck that's out there, one of the semi-tractor trailers, you can go about 3,000 miles before you have to refill your reservoir on that one as well. So there's really not a lot involved anymore with taking care of any of the Fuel Genie systems. So the Fuel Genie systems now are customer friendly. Yes. Even for women, even if you have those long fingernails that are out there and you're doing that very delicate job, typing or whatever it is, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief out there, you don't have to worry about anything. It's nice. It's clean. You can put it under your hood. We can put the reservoir in your trunk. You go out there. You don't have to touch anything except unscrew one little cap, and then you take a gallon of water with a little funnel that we provide you, and you fill up your reservoir. That's it. If you can pour water from a gallon jug, you can maintain a Fuel Genie system. It is that easy and that user-friendly. So once we got it to that configuration right there, we knew that now we really had something. We still had to contend, with a lot of people out here who buy these things off the internet. Oh, gosh, before you buy anything off the internet, call me. Go to our website. Email me. Ask me about a certain thing, a certain particular product, If it will work, I will tell you. I'll email you back. I don't care. I answer about 15, 20 emails from this show every single day that come in. So I have the time. I take the time out for you because that's why we're here. We want to educate everybody to how good these systems are. This is a technology that's coming into being. It's been lying low as a cottage industry for so long out here now. But now that the price of fuel is going up, it takes every single penny that we have to put into letting people know about the Fuel Genie systems, how well they work, how easy it is, how user-friendly it is to get that message out there to everybody. Part of this show here is absolutely doing that. We want to make sure that you know what's going on in your car, how you can save money on the rising cost of fuel out here. That's why I'm here, okay? So, once we got it into the form that it is today, we began testing it. We began testing it on a lot of different types of vehicles, and we began to reconfigure different pieces, add different pieces into the configuration there. So today, when you have a Fuel Genie system on your car, it's installed by one of our authorized service centers or one of our certified technicians. You know that when you put it on there, you're going to begin saving money immediately on your gas. Now, every car is different, just like every person is different. We all have arms. Yeah, we've got heads, most of us. Yeah, we use them, most of us. We have legs, we have torsos and stuff. We have the same bodily functions. That's humanity, the human species, yeah. But inside, we're all just a little bit different. Somebody's veins are clogged up with all kinds of lipids and stuff. Somebody else's veins are irritated. The heart, the lungs are all in different shapes from different conditions from different bodies all over the place. So somebody could take this medicine for a certain condition and it will work. Another person could take that same medicine for another condition, won't work for them. Yeah, their body chemistry is different. Well, with cars, pretty much the same kind of thing is at play. Every car, no matter if it's the same make, same model, same year, it's got different components in it from different manufacturers. There are 11 different manufacturers for computers of cars, and the automakers never put all of their eggs in one basket. They just don't buy the electronic engine control unit, or ECU, your car's computer. Yeah, they don't buy that from just one manufacturer. Suppose that manufacturer goes bankrupt, or they have a strike, or something happens, an act of God comes and tears the whole factory down. Now, the manufacturer of the car has no computer. So they split all of their orders up to all of the different companies out there manufacturing computers. They give them the specifications. But the people manufacturing the computers, you have the insides of those computers, the hardware inside those computers, different. So each computer computes differently. They pretty much have the same sensors attached to them, but the way they handle those sensors and what they do with that information is a little different from each car. It can be from one car to the next on the assembly line. One car has this type of computer in it. Another car has another type. Has, say, a Bosch. Yeah, one has a Bosch and then one has a Ford computer. Okay? They do the same things, but they do it differently on the inside. They process the information differently on the inside. So we can put a fuel-saving system on your car. We know we have more in our data banks about how different types of cars and different types of computers behave with our Fuel Genie systems than anyone on planet Earth. That's just fair dinkum. No one has more information, insight, and data collected on vehicles on how this works than Fuel Genie Systems does. So when you deal with a Fuel Genie system, you're dealing with the world leader in this technology. Okay? So what we do now is we put the system inside your car. A Fuel Genie system gets installed by our certified technicians. We know the settings to place on the car based upon the size of the engine, the age of the engine, a few other things to consider your O2 sensors, also very important here. So we put that on. We get you in the ballpark. Now, if your engine miles per gallon on your vehicle, if that increases, 10, 15, 20% in town, you got lucky. We hit you absolutely perfect the first time. And if that continues on, you'll have no problems. Some cars, however, inside, mechanically, ports are clogged up with old oil, or the sensors are about to go bad, but haven't yet clicked that check engine light on to tell you to go replace it. We can put the recommended amount of hydrogen into an engine like that, and it may or may not give you the optimum amount of increase in fuel, mileage. It may or may not. If it's only giving you about a 5% increase in town, then we make a small adjustment. If it's giving you 15% in town, we can make another small adjustment, because with a Fuel Genie system in town, you should get between 10 and 20% increase in your miles per gallon. Now, that will translate into 30 and 40%, sometimes 50% on the road, depending upon the vehicle, okay? But for most cars out here, it's between 30 and 40% increase in miles per gallon on the road, on the highways you're traveling out here. That could be interstate. It could be between city, 4-lane, limited access roads out here. Could be elevated highways. Could be toll roads, whatever it is. If it's not in-town stop-and-go traffic, you should be getting between 30 and 40% increase in your miles per gallon. And that's just the way it works. In town, it can't do that because you're sitting at a stoplight a lot of times, yeah? Engine's running 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the stoplight. You've burned, maybe a fifth of a gallon of gasoline, and you haven't put 1 mile on the odometer. So for cars like that in town, 10 to 20%, that's the maximum you're going to get in town. And on the road, you're going to get between 30 and 40%. 10 to 20% in town translates to 30 to 40% on the road out there. And that's how everything works with the Fuel Genie system. Now, we have, moving right along here, I'm going to get off my second page and go to the third page of things that we have here. When you get a Fuel Genie system, it's going to take you about 4 hours to install in your car, okay? Sometimes maybe 4.5 hours. If you've got an RV, or if you're not an RV, because we're not doing those yet, but more to come on that in just a minute here. But if you've got like a van or a truck, a fairly large truck or something like that, could take about 5 to 6 hours. If you have a tractor trailer, you truckers out there on the road, you can ask your buddies that have Fuel Genie systems already. It's about a 6-hour job, but it's really professionally done. You have stainless steel parts, and it's just fantastic. When you're beginning to save $1 a gallon, when diesel fuel is $5 a gallon and you're saving $1 on each gallon, you're putting 120, 130 gallons a day inside your tanks there, you're going to be saving $100, $120 a day just doing that. Okay? So Fuel Genie systems can definitely save you money about that. So our Fuel Genie systems, they're made with the highest grade materials. They're made here in America, right here in Florida. So you're not buying anything that's made in Taiwan or in Brazil or in China or anything like that. These Fuel Genie systems, our generators, not far away, about 20 miles away in Pasco County is actually where the plant that makes these things is all, puts them together. Yeah, that's where we're all located here. The rest of our shops, our assembly shops, also right here in the city of Largo, down in Florida, Tampa Bay area. We're down out here too. And the quality of the systems is so good now that we guarantee for 3 years our generators. Hydrolyzers, whatever you got. That's the main part of the system that separates water into hydrogen and oxygen. We use 316L stainless steel plates inside there. And they will last you probably 5 or 6 years, but we guarantee them for 3 years. If you want to take it off one vehicle and put it on another one, 1.5 years, 2 years down the road, 3 years, 4 years down the road, you definitely can do that. You're not stuck with it on one particular vehicle. It takes maybe about 30 minutes to take it off a vehicle. Tough part isn't mounting it in another vehicle out there. So you can definitely move it from one vehicle to the next, and there's a 3-year warranty on that. There is a 1-year warranty on the entire Fuel Genie system itself. That's all the components. That's the switches, the transducers, vacuum switches, and things like that. The reservoir, the parts to the reservoir, all the little nipples and pieces and connectors and everything else that goes inside there. That's all guaranteed for 1 year. Again, we use the highest quality materials that we can in all of our systems out here. Another good thing to consider is Fuel Genie will not void the warranty on your vehicle. Some people are saying, oh, that's not true. Well, yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. We have a white paper. Don't have it here with me in the studio, otherwise I'd be showing that to you guys here. We have a white paper from our lawyers who cites something called the Magnuson-Moss Act of 1975, which states that unless you alter the manufacturer's original equipment, no aftermarket add-on device can be used to void the warranty on that vehicle. That's what it says. That's in 1975. And the reason they did that is because so many people were coming in, with a raccoon tail on the antenna of their radio antenna of their car. And all of a sudden smoke was blowing from the engine and stuff. And they said, oh, you avoided the warranty on your car. You got that raccoon tail up there in the antenna. What's that got to do with the oil over here? Well, you avoided the warranty by putting stuff on there that wasn't authorized. So Congress got tired of that stuff from the industry. And they said, okay, here's the deal, guys. As long as they don't alter the manufacturer's original equipment, anything that they put on the car to enhance its performance or its looks or anything else like that cannot be used to void the warranty. Okay? So that's what we have. And this lawyer has already cashed in about $4 million from people who have tried to void the warranty on cars by having Fuel Genies on them or hydrogen systems, not just a Fuel Genie, but a hydrogen system. He's waiting for your phone calls. Any of you people out there who have a problem like that with your automobile dealership, it's in writing. It's in stone. We can guarantee you that this will not void your warranty and can't be used to void the warranty on your car. So we are moving right along here. I have right now a special announcement. We at Fuel Genie Systems, we're expanding into the RV market. That's recreational vehicle for those of you guys out in Rio Linda listening today. We're expanding into the RV market. And what we want to do is we want to take an RV with a diesel engine and an RV with a gasoline engine. Now, what we're going to do is we're looking for 2 owners of RVs. You can give me a call after the show at, let's see, the number for that is 1-866-209-6000. 6682. I'll say that number again a little later on, but you may want to go get a pencil now. I've got some more numbers you're going to write down here towards the end of the show. But anyway, 1-866-209-6682. If you've got an RV, what we'll do is we will put a Fuel Genie system for you on that free, absolutely free. You don't pay for it. Now, if when you see how much it increases your miles per gallon, you have to allow us to take pictures and document the installation on all of that. You have to allow us to use your name and you as a personal endorsement that, yes, indeed, these do work. So we need one diesel-engined RV and we need one gasoline-engined RV for a free installation of a Fuel Genie on there. Call us. The number again, 866-209-6682. Now, if you're driving around, you don't have that number, log on to our website, go to WTAN website, or you can log on to WTAN's website, go to the podcast, and click on the podcast for today's show. You'll hear exactly what I'm saying right now. You can pick that number again, or just go to our website, www.fuelgeniesystems.com, and go to where it says Become a Distributor, and you'll find the phone numbers and everything right there under that tab. So that is the big major announcement here. If you've got friends, if you've got relatives, or you yourself, if you have an RV and you're thinking about maybe taking a trip, maybe not taking a trip, now the price of gasoline and diesel are going up so high, with a Fuel Genie on your vehicle, you can travel out to California and back one time, and the device is paid for itself. And then after that, for the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years that you have that vehicle out there, you're just going to be saving money on it. So give us a call. Let us know. The first people around here in the Florida area, you've got to be here in the Florida area, too. It's not going to do us any good if you're out in Arkansas. But you've got to be somewhere around in the Tampa Bay area where we can do all the installation for you, observe it, monitor it, talk with you, and make sure that everything's working perfectly on that, okay? So don't forget to give us a call. Again, one more time, that number, 866-209-6682. So, also, want to remind everybody out there that this is a new technology. It is coming into its own out here. It's been a cottage industry for a long, long time, but now with gas headed to $4 and $5 a gallon, this industry is going to explode like an atomic bomb. So we at Fuel Genie Systems, we offer training. We offer training for installers, so you can become a certified installer. You can buy these devices and install them on any vehicle you want to. You become an installer. Or, if you'd like, you can take the training in the training classes, become a distributor, and then sit back and help everyone in the country by spreading this technology, putting it on cars, saving people money, and cleaning the air as you go along. Because with the Fuel Genie system on your car, there's virtually no exhaust emissions whatsoever. We've got a 5-gas analyzer test on video. It's too long to put onto the internet because it's about 15 minutes, the entire process there. We could edit it, but then that takes away the validity. So we've got a 5-gas analyzer test we have done, and we can show where the amount of hydrocarbons has been reduced to zero. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, both at zero. Nitric oxides, both at zero. And the only thing coming out of the exhaust is oxygen. If they had a test for hydrogen, we would be able to see an increase in hydrogen and oxygen as well for that. So go to the website, fuelgeniesystems.com, and click on the How to Become a Distributor tab. Let us know who you are. Send in an email, or you can call with information. You can call and leave your name and number for information. Somebody will get back to you. I guarantee it. Okay, now, get out your pencils, get them ready, get your paper ready, because we're coming close to the end of the show here, and I want everybody to be prepared for these numbers that will definitely help you as we go along. But first, have another few words here to put out. You know, as we become ever more aware of our environment, business, too, is moving to accommodate the ever-growing number of people who want cars with good fuel mileage, low exhaust emissions, and which won't squeeze us like sardines in a car accident, should we have one, okay? Now, there is a new sticker to look out for when you're looking for a car that tells you if it's eco-friendly. It's called the PZEV sticker, or Partial Zero Emission Vehicle. partial zero-emission vehicle. Now, these are cars, not every single car that you see this sticker on has had a test, but its sister car or clone or one exactly like it has had the test and has found to be very eco-friendly, with either zero emissions coming out of the exhaust or partial zero emissions. It's not possible right now with our technology to have zero emissions coming out because we're dealing with hydrocarbons, gasoline. So in the morning when your car is cold and you start it up, that mixture is rich. I don't care how much hydrogen you put in your vehicle to counteract that. You're going to smell fumes coming out of it. There's going to be hydrocarbons coming out. There's going to be carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, all kinds of things like that are going to be coming out of your exhaust right there when it's cold. No way to avoid that whatsoever. So there are stickers out here, the PZEV stickers, and these PZEV stickers will let you know that it is a partial zero emission vehicle. Okay, so you want to be looking for those PZEV stickers when you're going to be buying a car. If you're going to be buying a car anytime soon out here, now it can be either a hybrid, electric and gasoline, or it can be just a super economical vehicle out there, like a VW that gets 25, 30 miles per gallon of gasoline. Now, with me on the telephone, going green is Gary Wilson from Regal Cars. Gary has a new program out. He's going to turn his entire dealership green. Gary is the first dealership to offer free Fuel Genie installations on any car that you purchase from him. And now he's going to take it one step further, and we're going to talk to him about that. Hi, Gary.
Hey, Barry, how are you?
Oh, we're doing just fine here. I'm going to let you explain to the people what exactly it is you're doing with your eco-friendly car sales now.
Well, what we've done, Barry, is we've decided that, we've got to help, number one, we've got a bad situation where we're constantly putting out terrible emissions from cars. Now, the product, Fuel Genie, is helping tremendously in cutting the emissions down and helping the fuel economy to increase, so therefore we're burning less fuel. We become a little less dependent on oil. But what we're doing now is I've decided to make the company, and this is a major step, and we've decided to go ahead and we're buying nothing but vehicles that are getting 25 to 30 miles per gallon, period. But we're not buying all these. I'm not going to go out and buy a whole bunch of smart cars. We're going to stay with the cars that have the PZEV. They are very emission-friendly. They get good fuel economy. They're very reliable. And buying a vehicle that's previously owned, you certainly save an awful lot of money over buying a brand-new one. I'm not saying everybody needs to run out and buy a used car, but new cars, as we know, the minute you buy them, you take a real bath. And if you buy a used car, let somebody else take that depreciation. And if the car's as nice as new, then why buy a new one? Buy a used one. But make sure that it's got good emissions and make sure that it's getting good fuel economy. And to take it a step further than that, I will pay for a Fuel Genie to be installed on any car that they purchase from us.
Yes! We love to hear that. Free. Anytime it's free, it's good. That was my father's his mantra.
Totally free, and we don't increase the price of the vehicle to cover it. It's just something that we're doing. We're taking a little less profit, but I think in the long run it's certainly going to help. I've been in this business for a lot of years, and repeat customers are what we live on. And I've got a lot of repeat customers that are coming in with their cars to have them installed. So it's a good thing. It's a great thing. I just love what we're doing out here. We're doing the right thing, and as long as you do the right thing, you do it enough, eventually you will be rewarded.
Okay, so now also we were just talking about these PZEV stickers. Is that something that you're seeing on cars now, or those cars on your lot?
And it's kind of what we're doing now is I and my entire staff, when we are looking for automobiles to purchase them, I mean, it's not like we call the used car factory and order them. We have to go out and find these cars, and when we do that, we are looking for particular cars, and we know which ones are the PZEV cars. And those are the ones that are already the manufacturer has said that those vehicles are getting low emissions. And if we add a Fuel Genie to them, basically we're going to really clean this planet up fast.
Oh, that's just fantastic what you're doing out here, Gary. It's not just, for the public that gets the cars from you. I'm sure they get a fantastic price. I know you. I know you're an honest guy out here.
We will not be undersold. Never.
Oh, my, oh, my. Well, you heard it first here on WTAN, the Fuel Savers. He will not be undersold. We like that kind of esprit in the business out here.
Will not be.
Will not be undersold. So, Gary, my hat's off to you. A special Fuel Savers tip of the hat to you and what you're doing out here. So you're located where now?
Barry, I'm on Drew Street in Clearwater, right at the corner of Northeast Coachman. It's 2100 Drew Street. And, in fact, it's kind of ironic. This was a gas station for many, many years. And now we're fighting against it. But we need to depend on that foreign oil a whole lot less.
Okay,
so.
Now if someone's listening out here and wants to rush out and buy a new car right after the show here, and
oh yeah,
how late are you open till?
We're open until 7 o'clock through the week and 6 o'clock on Saturdays, and we do work on Sundays by appointment. If somebody calls, we will have someone come and meet them here.
Okay, all right then, Gary.
And Barry, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Gary. It's always a pleasure hearing from you, and everybody, I'm sure, appreciates what you're doing, not just, for the community out here, but for the environment, helping to clean the air we breathe one car at a time. Just like our Fuel Genie motto says, we are out here. We want to make the air cleaner for everybody. We're doing that one car at a time.
That's a
I
great
just know,
thing.
yeah. There's nothing like the clean power of hydrogen surging through your car. You can feel it. When you're going down the highway, normally your foot's constantly on the accelerator out here, but when you have hydrogen inside your car, hydrogen running on there, you push your foot on the accelerator and then just let off a little bit. Keep letting off, and the car or the truck just keeps lumbering down the road.
They run so much smoother, too.
Absolutely, positively does. So
they do, because they're burning so efficient. I mean, that's the bottom line is they're burning very efficient.
Yes, we've done well with our technology here, and we're going to be doing better in the future on that.
Great.
Gary, thanks so much for calling in.
Pleasure talking to you, Barry. Good luck.
We'll be talking to you in the future.
Take care now.
Gary Wilson at Regal Cars. Give him a call. He'll give you the deal, and he'll give you a free Fuel Genie installation on any car you purchase there. So that is coming close to wrapping up what we're doing here in the studio today. I've got a few more things to put out. What we'd like to do right now is give a shout out to all those people who are sending in email. Your questions really help me with the show here as far as the content, putting out what you need to hear, what you want to hear, how the systems work, what it will do for the environment, what it will do for the economy, how you can get involved in all of this. A big shout out to all of you listeners, and I'm even finding out that we have probably 20 or 30 loyal listeners out there. It was a big shock for me. But anyway, we have you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. So a shout out to all of our authorized service centers we do have here, too. There's Ramsey Automotive on Olmerton Road here in Largo, Florida. Twisted Metal Off-Road in Tampa, just south of Ybor City. They're at 813-622-6570. So if you got that pencil and paper handy, you're over in Tampa, and you want to have one of these things on your vehicle, you contact Twisted Metal, 813-622-6570. They specialize in Hummer installations, by the way. They've got the system down. It's beautiful what they do. Your water to gas in Largo, you should call 727-386-9765. Ask for Phil, and he'll be able to take care of you, whatever you need. East Bay Auto Service in Largo. Chaba with his fantastic crew that he's got there at his station. 727-581-5483. Now, all of these people here have certified ASE mechanics and are certified in the installation of our Fuel Genie system. So I'd like to give a big shout-out to John Sumnall, who's nearing the completion of his certification here in Cheshire, England, and also to Jason Albrecht, who's begun certification progress in distribution in Australia. Welcome, Jason. Welcome to the family. This is Barry Hart saying drive clean, drive lean, for your gasoline.